Good morning, Hills Church family. Jamie and I really want to thank you for releasing us as we are serving Grace North Church in Anthem, Arizona, bringing Dad Academy and have an opportunity to encourage this amazing church in the Phoenix area. In fact, it's very rare. I can't even think of times except when I'm on a missions trip where maybe I've missed 2 consecutive Sundays of being in church with you. But I want to remind you how important it is in this season for us to continue to come together and to stand together united. Because what I really believe is starting to happen is that we are experiencing the making of a miracle. Man, it has been a really tough last few weeks. You know, we come off this incredible time together as a church family, dreaming about what God is doing, taking a look back and listening to the stories of how God has used our church in people's lives. And it seems to be that there's a momentum for us that continues to move to move forward into the things that God has for us. And then we hit these really traumatic events that take place. The Tuesday after our family meeting, one of our church elders, Larry Erickson, is admitted to the hospital, and the doctors can't find a solution for what his ailment is. This last Sunday, we experienced the traumatic event of Klaus Green, and I'm so proud of the way that our church has rallied around these situations, continuing to contend in prayer and continuing to be united with one another to see what God will do in these lives. And what an amazing thing to report that Larry is out of the hospital. The doctors could never find a solution to what was wrong with him, but God began to touch him, and now he's actually in this amazing recovery stage after fighting for 3 weeks, and we have stood with him. The amazing transformation that has taken place in Klaus, what seemed to be a death sentence. Now God is bringing almost resurrection life back to his body. He's already up, he's already eating, he's talking. There's a few more tests that the doctors are continuing to do, but there's an anticipation in our hearts that God is bringing him to full strength. But the challenge is that in order to experience a miracle, you have to face some circumstances that are just overwhelming, where we find ourselves in a desperate place where there's nothing else that we can do except to go to God. See, there's no reason for Jesus to make a miracle out of 5 loaves and 2 fish unless there was a desperate need for people to be fed. All of the times that Jesus healed people of leprosy or of some paralyzation or of blindness, it was because the miracle happens because there is a desperate need for God to intervene in our situations. Nobody likes what you have to go through in order to experience a miracle, but I feel that that is what God is beginning to do, with us. In fact, in one miracle, Jesus looked at the people who were inviting him into the situation, and he said specifically that this situation is going to be used to display the glory of God and his power that is at work in our lives. And I think we need to have an anticipation of God to do something great. This is just not pastor talk. There needs to be something inside of us that in the midst of our anxiety, in the midst of our desperation, there is a hope and there is a faith that God's glory is about to be revealed in the midst of our challenging circumstances. In fact, that's the whole story of the scripture. Let me read to you from the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 18. It says that our present sufferings are not even comparable to the glory that God is going to reveal in us. So I want to encourage you that we would stand strong, that we would not be discouraged, that as we call out to God, that he is hearing us and he is responding to us, and we should begin to have the seeds of anticipation of God about to do something great and his glory revealed in our lives, in our community, and in our church. I'm excited today to have my good friend Mike O'Brien here to give today's message that will be encouraging, that will build your faith, that speaks about God bringing His rule into the middle of a desperate situation. I love you, and thank you for the pleasure of getting to be your pastor. What a great church we have, and you're so blessed to have these people around you.